Our vision, it's really to for Kitchenery is to lead the home appliance industry into a new era, right? One where kitchen spaces are smarter, they're more efficient, they're cord free. We aim to go to progress towards a brand for anybody looking to enhance their cooking experience, as we continue to innovate and elevate the standards of cooking technology.
Now, a quick word from our sponsor, hubtoss.com. Hubtoss.com is a Bloomberg meets PitchBook for investment crowdfunding deals. It allows users to build their own algorithm in order to find the best deals possible. If you don't know where to start, you can always try the preset filters inspired by famous investors or dive into building your own algorithm. Sign up to get daily alerts to make sure you don't miss these top-rated deals. It's hubtoss.com, hubtas.com.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Next Big Thing podcast. On the Next Big Thing podcast, we interview the founders and CEOs of startups currently raising in the equity crowdfunding industry. This is so that we can bridge the gap between those founders and the investors within the ecosystem. Today, we are joined by Akshay Bhuva, the CEO of Kitchenery, a company that makes wireless power transfer technology and smart connecting products for kitchen appliances. A really cool and fascinating technology that I am super excited to learn about. So with that being said, Akshay, thanks for your time and welcome on the Next Big Thing podcast.
Connor, Brandon, thank you for having me. It's it's a pleasure. So at Kitchenery, we are revolutionizing how people interact with their kitchen space on a day-to-day basis. We have developed proven and patented wireless energy technology that empowers small kitchen appliances to be powered cordlessly. Creating a seamless cooking experience and turning your kitchen into a haven of convenience and creativity. At Kitchenery, we're bridging the gap between technology, innovation, and cooking experience for millions of individuals who are looking for, a smart, convenient, and a socially welcoming space. And you all will agree with me on this that kitchen is one of those places in your home, which gets the most amount of foot traffic, right? It's the heart of everyone's home, and this is why we really exist, is to holistically improve how people interact with their kitchens. And it is in reality, it is our mission to if you see Kitchenery's mission, it is to improve people's lives with the world's best cooking experience.
Fantastic. Do you want to pull up your pitch deck and give us a little short elevator pitch on what Kitchenery is?
So at Kitchenery, I started this company back in 2019 when I was living in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I used to live in a small apartment in a studio apartment where the kitchen space was very tight. I am a materials and mechanical engineer by profession. Previously worked in the automobile industry, and I had some prior knowledge and some prior background in the space of wireless power transfer. And during COVID, like everybody else, I had the opportunity to work from home, and this is really where I experience inconveniences in everyday cooking. So if you see the kitchen space, small kitchen appliances like blenders, toasters, air fryers, these are some of the electronic devices that people use on day-to-day basis. And these are some of the devices that are overlooked by the industry from the perspective of user friendliness, from the perspective of product design, product innovation, things like that. You see other products like a cell phone or a earphone or any other electronic device. If you see back from 50 years back, 1950s, to how things are now, you can really feel the generational gap. But we haven't seen this in in the space of kitchen appliances. You're still using the same old blender. It's powered using a cord. It's still, you turn it on and it feels like, there's a train going past, next to you because it's so loud. So at Kitchenery, I like to say that we're making the world's most silent blender with shush level technology, and obviously it's powered with wireless energy systems, right? But we have developed proven and patented technology that kind of works very similar to how you wirelessly charge your smartphones, but the amount of power transfer is way higher. So we call Kitchenery's wireless power transfer technology is on steroids. It does over 40 to 50 times more power than traditional smartphone wireless charging. We are a strong team of experienced engineers. Like I mentioned before, I come out of the commercial automobile industry. I am a materials and mechanical engineer. Augustine has over a decade of experience in the aerospace industry, building electronics and hardware systems. Andrew is, he has, I would say, over a decade of experience in sales, marketing, and software sales and marketing. Paulo is leading our marketing and growth activities. But in realistically, we have a holistic team that is prepped for various areas of venture execution. We have a strong advisory board that advises us on strategic go-to-market strategies, fundraising, venture activity, finance, anything and everything you can a startup needs. So we're very, very fortunate to be associated with them. Leila is the managing director of Techstars, and she has been a strong support to us throughout this journey. So Kitchenery's business model is based on three things. Right now, we have launched our consumer product offering, direct-to-consumer e-commerce portal, where the very first group of futurists who are going to own kitchen appliances can they can purchase our appliances on our Reserve Now portal, which is kitchenery.us/reserve. And apart from that, we work on onboarding strategic distribution partners in our hyper-targeted industries in the space of marine and recreational. So that's our strategic distribution B2B. And one of the good things about our technology is that we have both our power transmission and power reception has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capabilities that enables us to collect curated device data. So how often it is used, when it is used, what are the core features that people use in, a blender or an air fryer and things like that. And down the line, we have a strategic plan for data monetization. So, like I said, earlier, we are introducing the Kitchenery Quantum Energy Pad. It is a revolution in the industry itself. It has 1200 watts of wireless power transfer capabilities, so it can pretty much power a whole suite of appliances up to this power voltage. And it has hybrid functionality, so you can do wireless power transfer, or you can bring a compatible pan or pot, and you can do inductive heating as well. This is, the very first version of our appliances. It comes with a pad and a suite of 5 appliances that we have researched. It's a combination of most in-demand and most popular appliances that are found in pretty much more than 90% of the households in the US. And one of the good things about our design is themed towards modern and minimalism. So it's very clean. It's very it's got a dual tone. For example, you can see that the handles, they're consistent in all of the appliances. There is a unified theme of the subtle metal wrap around each and every appliance. So we have put a keen, I would say, interest in the product look and feel and how people are going to interact with the actual product itself. So, earlier this year we collaborated with the Global Synapse Innovation Summit to launch our public offering round on Refunder, and right now I'm very happy to announce that we have closed over 110 angel investors that are that have backed us on Refunder, and as of today we have raised over $130,000 on our campaign, on our existing campaign. So that's a huge win for us. But like I mentioned before, at Kitchenery we are on a mission to improve how people interact with their kitchen space on a day-to-day basis. And if you want to be a part of this, you want to be a futurist to own the vision of cordless cooking, you can go on refunder.com/Kitchenery or scan this QR code that will take you to our public offering page. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time today. And Connor, Brandon, it's been, thanks for giving me the opportunity to, pitch Kitchenery on this amazing platform.
Well, we appreciate the pitch. We appreciate you coming on. And I want to say, I really like how the products look. They look very slick and futuristic. So it's very aesthetically pleasing when you look at the products. But I do want to know a little bit more about the story and how you got started. You said that it got started because you were in an apartment in Milwaukee, and it was a small apartment. And there's a big difference between having a pain point and kind of deciding to start a startup and, making it your company, making it your mission. So what happened along that journey for you to commit and start the startup?
So yeah, eventually in the early phases of Kitchenery ideation, it was mostly me. And at that time, I personally experienced inconveniences in everyday cooking. I had two power outlets, and in those two power outlets, I had like 7 appliances: a blender, a toaster, a coffee maker, electric kettle, and and I started using my kitchen space a lot more because I was working from home, and it was just not the best experience for me. So down the line, I was fortunate enough to join a startup boot camp called Generator G Beta and G Alpha in Milwaukee, and this is where we did some ideation, we did some creation on how is this something that is viable from the technology perspective. Are other people facing the same kind of issues that you are facing? And eventually we figured out the right, I would say, the product market fit from the perspective of where are we going to launch our product. And currently we are focused more on the recreational and hospitality industries. So imagine a RV or a boat. You're squeezing in a full-size kitchen, a full-size home on the back of your car, and space comes at a very high cost. So a premium RV, a Class A RV, goes for well over $500,000, and that consumer base is very, very demanding. They want the best product. They want to travel with comfort. They want to travel in peace, and they want a freedom. They want a freedom to use their appliances without the use of cords. In a RV, there's not a lot of room to move around. So what we provide to them is number one, a modular suite of appliance that can easily fit into small cabinets, and it has a stackable footprint, and obviously it is cordless, and it is, if you want to add a cherry on top of it, it is hyper energy efficient. So power source in movable vehicles is limited. It's either through a generator, it's through a solar panel, or it's through a battery pack. You don't have unlimited power unless you are, parked in a, RV park and hooked up with an external, electrical line.
So
So that, yeah, so that was, that was the whole gist of, the problem that we're solving is, in the market segments that we're targeting is space and energy.
So, can you talk more about, because you've mentioned wireless power transfer technology a couple times. Can you talk more about it and just how it works?
Of course. So, wireless power transfer, we are not the inventors of this technology. It works on the principle of, if you know a little bit about physics, there's a principle called magnetic resonance. So, if I go, let me go back to, one of my slides, this one actually. So this is, inside of our pad, there is a coil. This coil sends, magnetic waves and magnetic waves to the electronic device, in our case, the appliance that is placed on top of it. And, it enables the power transfer in the kitchen appliance without the use of cords. So it's really transforming the way kitchen functions. It's safe, it's efficient, and it's incredibly reliable. And, I would say the best part is it just feels like magic.
So while we're kind of on the topic of the technology, I wanted to address something that you said, and it was about the efficiency of the technology. Particularly interested in this right now. Here in England, I'm here at the University of Oxford, and I've listened to somebody talk about climate change and helping eliminate carbon emissions. And so, can you talk about what makes your technology efficient and how it helps the environment in that way?
Of course. So, Kitchenery's technology is 40% more energy efficient compared to, traditional cooking methods. Traditional cooking methods, when I say it's, gas or electric cooking, and we have hybrid induction technology. So what happens in gas cooking is you're pretty much the amount of heat transfer from the gas to the vessel, you know, it's about 60%, and 40% of that heat is wasted in the atmosphere. So that's why if you're cooking in an enclosed room, and if you have an electric or a gas stove, the temperature inside of that room increases, not because partly because of the cooking vessel, but mostly because of the heat that is not transferred in the cooking vessel. It's transferred in the atmosphere, and it's actually wasted. So if you do that comparison with our wireless energy pad, the amount of power transfer is 100%. So that's one. And apart from that, traditional cooking methods in most cities, around the US, they have now started to adopt laws to ban natural gas in natural gas cooking, because natural gas pretty much is methane that people use, and that is supplied in the consumer's home. And methane is the number one cause for global greenhouse gas warming. So we are reducing the per household carbon footprint by electrifying consumer kitchens with hyper energy efficient hybrid cooking technologies.
So another place that my mind went was the safety, because everyone knows if you say have a blender in your kitchen, you plug it in, and with plugging anything into a wall come safety concerns. Is there any sort of reason behind what would make your technology safer, or and is the safety something that went into the design process? What's been your thing around safety as it comes to kitchen?
So, kitchen is in everybody's home. It is, I would say, it's like the epicenter for any kind of accidents, right? It gets the most amount of foot traffic. There are pets, there are kids, and people are usually, they find themselves in the kitchen multiple times a day, and uh, figuring out a solution on how to make this environment, make this space more safer and more reliable for everyday use is one of the other big parts for that me and my team are taking, doing a lot of work in. So number one is you're completely eliminating the use of cords. So you're reducing the risk of electrocution, and on top of that, obviously we have, from the perspective of product safety, Kitchenery will have multiple different, safety and regulatory compliance in regards of UL, CE, FCC certifications, and things like that. So, talking about, about both from the product perspective and from the kitchen environment perspective, this technology completely makes sense to make everyday cooking more safer, for the person who is cooking, for the people around them, for kids, for pets, and for the overall household safety as well.
So you also touched on this in your pitch, which was almost the three facets of your business. It was SaaS, um, the engineering side, and then the product sales. And I'm really mostly interested in the SaaS side of it because it's maybe the one that someone wouldn't expect as much from as you proclaimed a hardware company. So maybe I got two questions. Number one, what is your guys' business model, and how are you employing that business model? And number two, what is the SaaS side of your business, and how does that play into the business model?
Of course, that's a great question. So, from the perspective of SaaS, what we have, the core technology is wireless power transfer and transfer modules and wireless power reception modules. So, this reception module is integrated within the kitchen appliance itself. So, our reception module has a smart MCU that has capabilities to collect curated device data. So, how often a device is used, when it is used, what is the power consumption of a particular device, things like that. So, you know, creating hyper curated device analytics, what we can focus on is holistically creating consumer centric product design and consumer centric product features. So that is one of our other strategies, is to work with appliance brands and OEMs to help them, assist them on their what is their next product, and how is it going to look like, based on the feedback, the hands-on real time data feedback that we get from our modules. Now, what happens currently is, how do device makers get product feedback, is through focus groups or interviews or surveys that are very, very unreliable. One of the OEMs that we have previously spoken to, they mentioned to us that the surveys, they are usually, even though they are paid, they're taken by you know um, they're taken by individuals who want to make a quick buck, and it's not usually accurate information. And the same goes with focus groups, and the same goes with other forms of feedback collecting mechanisms. So in our case, the device itself is collecting hands-on data, and there is no room for there is no room for errors, and there's it's more hyper curated. It's it's directly coming from the consumer. So uh, it is a much more efficient, faster, and accurate way to create to take more consumer centric and product centric decisions. So that is one of our other parts of business model. And talking more about the third part is working with other device makers to incorporate Kitchenery's power receiving technology into their electronic devices. So making them, I would say, Kitchenery compatible. And eventually, the big vision with Kitchenery really is, we want to be the Intel Inside for kitchen appliances. So how you see any kind of any kind of laptop, and it has, regardless of the brand, it's currently using Intel MCU, and it's using some sort of microcontrolling unit. Will be we will be that, but for kitchen appliances.
So you talked about trying to get feedback, and you are taking pre-orders on your website right now. So you've been able to kind of get a sense of the customer receptiveness to the brand. And so how has that been going?
It's going fantastic. We do regular upgrades, and we hear the consumer, right? What they want, what are the features they want, how often they're using their kitchen space, or what kind of colors they want, or what are some of the features that they don't want, things like that. But apart from that, our product is so revolutionary, and it's so amazing that currently we just launched our pre-order portal earlier this month, and currently we have over $10,000 in post-production revenue
Really?
confirmed in pre-orders. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so it's been a huge win for us, and we're continuously onboarding more and more futurists who will be our very first adopters of Kitchenery product offering.
So what has been the biggest challenge in going from an idea to a product with Kitchenery?
It's a lot of
Right.
challenges, right? You're running a hardware company and a product focused company, and not necessarily. It's very hard to number one. It's one of the hardest part is, you know we're working on a two-sided marketplace. So the marketplace of having a sort of pad or the wireless power transmission technology in consumer households, and on the other side, a marketplace for kitchen appliances. So we have to simultaneously build both the sides of this market together, and we're making habitual changes for consumers. They are habituated with using a cord and traditional appliances, and now we're asking them to get rid of all their appliances and bring a whole new set that is going to holistically improve and change how they interact with their kitchen space. So that shift, and that convincing part to the consumer is the hardest part. That's still been challenging for us, but eventually, I think, based on the strategies that we have in place, we will be we will be able to progress on a scalable fashion after that. And apart from that, because we are a more product focused company, like like an actual hardware product, there are a lot of challenges in the space of supply chain, manufacturing, doing design for manufacturing, production, moving parts globally. We have suppliers not only nationwide but globally. Colombia, Thailand, China, India, um, Mexico. So, we're moving product from around the world. We're figuring out the most optimal operations in the space of electronic product manufacturing and, high level data processing, figuring out how to package all of this together and give it to the consumer for the most, for the most easiest application. What would be, um, you know, it's open the box and start using, the most revolutionary product in the world in the kitchen space. So, yeah, there's quite a, there's lots of work that is, that needs to be done. And yeah, we do what we can to make things happen.
So I want to transition to a little bit about yourself. So reflecting on your time as an entrepreneur, maybe firstly, what do you think drew you to become an entrepreneur? And what do you think is the biggest lesson you've learned being an entrepreneur?
My entrepreneurial journey, it has really taught me the value of resilience, innovation, and staying focused on consumers need. The path to success isn't really linear. It requires constant learning, adopting, and and pushing boundaries. And this is really what motivates myself and my team at Kitchenery to, to do things that we do. So, yeah, the lesson of resilience, being able to innovate and staying focused on customer needs, I would say, are the top three, lessons that I have learned throughout this journey.
So you mentioned your team, and you mentioned your team in your pitch. I'm interested. What's the number one quality with the people you work with that you admire, and what went into hiring or seeking out the people that are now on your team?
We are the number one aspect of building a team is we are a mission driven team. So I like to say that each and every one that is on Kitchenery team right now is an army by themselves. And one of the other things that I would focus on is bringing in the right people that complement your skills, and that are either smarter than you, or they don't you know in or they have expertise in areas where I don't, where I don't have strong expertise. So I am more on the product innovation and technology side. So, I'm not very good at sales or marketing, and that's why, we have Andrew. Paulo is really good with operations. So, that's why we have Paulo. We onboarded Colin and Lowell because of their hyper-specific expertise in the space of industrial design and consumer-centric product design. So, that's their expertise. Colin is really good with, branding strategy and graphics, and putting how can we really make an emotional connection with the consumer through uh, you know through certain elements of brand. So he's really good at putting that in the team recipe. So yeah, it's a good mix of people, and we work together collaboratively on one mission, which is to improve people's lives with the world's best cooking experience. So yeah, that's Kitchenery team for you.
So you got accepted into Techstars Accelerator for anyone who doesn't know about Techstars, Techstars is one of the best, if not the best, accelerating program to get into for startups. How was that process for you, that experience, and how did that help grow you to become the CEO you are today?
Of course, going through accelerators is it really uh, helps you in avenues that you wouldn't have thought about while you're a founder. There are we have 100 things to do every day, and it's so important that we focus on certain strategies to actually help you from going from point A to point B, from point B to point C, to make consistent progress. And accelerators like Techstars really help you do that. And one of the good things about Techstars is they have something called the Mentor Madness. And during the Mentor Madness, in a span of a week, you're speaking with hundreds of individuals who are industry leaders, serial entrepreneurs, uh, you know successful startup founders, and you learn the process that they went through. And you match with your mentors. You figure out, it's like dating, but figuring out the right people who can help you go from who can help you be on the right path. Not necessarily they're not going to help you run your business, that they're going to give you a direction to look forward to, because they have already gone through this process multiple times. So they help you create that vision of of a venture execution, that okay, you know as a founder, it's really important that that you are mission and vision driven. Because if I cannot think where Kitchenery can be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, it's not, how am I going to, how do I expect to convey this to to the world, to my investors, to my stakeholders, to my team members, to everybody, right? So this is really what these accelerator programs do, is number one, help you get the right resources, access to the right resources to move to the next stage. There again, Techstars is all about giving back to the community. So, you know, figuring out the right investors, mentors, helping you do strong product market fit, through interviews and connecting to the right people in the industry and finding customers. The Techstars network is very broad and very expansive. So it's it's much easier to find somebody to speak to within the Techstars network itself, to whether you want to validate a product feature, or you want to uh, you know get some additional resources on your the on a project you are working on, or you want to get some feedback on a strategy that you're working on, things like that. So yeah, all things considered, it's been a wonderful experience of being part of the Techstars community. And the Techstars accelerator.
And I think that's pretty important. The point you brought up with the network helps you at least get directionally correct. And then you can figure out from going in the right direction, the specific steps, the specific path you need to take to get to your goal. You mentioned you mentioned kind of the vision 5 years, 10 years from now. So I want to ask you, where do you see Kitchenery, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What's the big vision? What's the big goal?
Our vision, it's really to for Kitchenery is to lead the home appliance industry into a new era, right? One where kitchen spaces are smarter, they're more efficient, they're cord free. We aim to go to progress towards a brand for anybody looking to enhance their cooking experience, as we continue to innovate and elevate the standards of cooking technology. So this is really where we want to be, and we want to influence people's lives, millions of people's of lives. We want to be in every household, around, not only around the nation but around the globe. So this is why we exist, and this is this is the revolution that we're bringing in the kitchen space.
So Connor's question reminded me of the last slide in your deck has that picture of the smart countertop with the charging. That was my favorite part of the pitch, because I think that that's such an incredible future that you can envision is, one where you have a countertop and you can just put your blender down, and then, I can put my air fryer over here and it's all, ready for use, and you don't need outlets. And I thought that was such an incredible image to add. So something that we get from our audience is that they love hearing practical advice. There's a lot of entrepreneurs in our audience, so they love hearing practical advice from other entrepreneurs. So I guess maybe being more niche and staying in the hardware space, because it's such a uniquely different type of startup ecosystem than, let's say, maybe an AI startup. So what practical advice would you give to entrepreneurs in the hardware space? What are some of those lessons you've learned? And you talked about mentorship when it comes to Techstars. If you were to mentor somebody, what would you say to them?
One of the practical advice that I would like to offer to any of the entrepreneurs out there navigating in the hardware space is to invest significantly in number one, in research and development. Technology is evolving and at an unpredicted rate, and stay relevant. It's essential to consistently innovate and improve your products based on how people are adopting, how consumers are interacting with with their space. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. At Kitchenery, our wireless energy technology was born out of the desire to challenge traditional cord-bound kitchen appliances. It was risky. It is a risky venture, but the one that has reaped considerable rewards. And secondly, understand your consumers' needs in a very, very deep fashion. Your innovations must solve real world problems and add value to consumers' lives. We're making people's lives safer. We're providing convenience. We're giving them, we're making a process that people do every day, multiple times a day, much more easier. We're giving back the time to them to do other things in life. And it is in our case, it's all about making kitchens and making kitchens safer, more efficient, and more easier for everyday use. And lastly, remember that hardware is it's a tangible experience. Pay attention to design, pay attention to user experience. It's not just about how well it works, but it's also about how good it feels, right? if a product is aesthetically pleasing and easy to use, it will resonate deeply, with your customers. And embrace in you're building a new product, embrace failures as they come, because they are stepping stones for your success. Stay resilient, keep the end user in mind, and don't stop innovating. So this is really the one piece that I would give to to the audience and to the people who are who are listening to this interview.
Yeah, it reminded me of a saying that I heard, and it goes something to the tune like innovation drives change, change drives progress, and progress drives us towards a better future. And I think
Of course.
your company is encompassing that. Before we let you go and wind down the interview, I did want to mention something again that we've mentioned a few times. You're raising on WeFunder, taking investments from anybody that's eligible on the platform. What would, for any maybe potential investors out there, what are those funds going to be used for, and how would their contribution help, drive forward the mission of Kitchenery?
Our community backers on WeFunder, they are our core supporters, right? These people are not only investing their money, but they are coming in as our very first adopters. They believe in our mission and they're part of Kitchenery family, and that's why we want to have them. And that was the sole focus and sole vision behind creating a public offering, is how can we leverage the power of community to not only build Kitchenery but to also uh, you know solve this solve the innovation that we're bringing in the kitchen space. So these guys, they're going to speak about us. They're going to follow us on social media. They're going to be, eventually, once the product is out, they're going to be our very first adopters. And they're going to support our product commercialization and things like that. So from the perspective of the use of funds, right now we are at a stage where we have developed advanced operational products that showcases our ability to transfer incredibly high amounts of power wirelessly. We have showcased demand from the marketplaces in hyper specific market segments that we are targeting, and demand from the direct to consumer portal as well. And the funds that we raise from WeFunder are specifically, we're using those for technology and product commercialization activities. So getting various different technology certifications, CE, FCC, UL. We currently have multiple provisional patents on the core wireless power transfer technology, but we also want to devote some funds in strategic intellectual property creation. So more design and utility patents. So we have some amount of budget in this fundraise campaign that is going towards that. Apart from that, we're creating a brand that that resonates, that makes an emotional connection with with the consumer. And to do that, we want to spend a little bit more on on the marketing side of our venture execution. So a part of the budget from WeFunder goes towards brand creation and marketing activities, and making an emotional connection with the consumer. So yeah, that's WeFunder for you. And anybody and everybody can be a part of Kitchenery family by going on wefunder.com/Kitchenery, and you can back us today.
That's fantastic. We will put the link in the description below. So make sure you go check out Akshay and Kitchenery. Before I let you go, Akshay, is there anything about Kitchenery that we haven't covered that you'd like the audience or people out there to know?
I think we did a good job on holistically covering Kitchenery venture execution. So that was great. But I would like to end, with the fact that at Kitchenery, holistically, we are on a mission to improve how people interact with their kitchen space on a day-to-day basis. And, this is why we exist. And this is why you should, you should support us in any shape or form you can, whether it is, direct investments on our WeFunder, whether it is following us on social media, whether it is, connecting us through, relevant people who can, invest in Kitchenery, who can buy our products, who who resonates with with our mission and vision of cordless cooking.
Well, Akshay, thank you so much for your time. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it's a super exciting product. So I'm looking forward to having a wireless appliance in my kitchen sooner rather than later. So,
Of course.
with that being said, again, thank you for your time, and we wish you nothing but the best with Kitchenery, and we'll be rooting for you.
Thanks for coming on.
Of course. Brandon, Connor, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
All right, and for all the listeners out there, we will see you next time on the Next Big Thing podcast.